All right, folks, back with episode 39 of the HYPEWORKS podcast with myself, Alex, my
Jake.
co-host, Jake. Yeah,
Yo.
and special guest today is Mr. Liam Fuller, calling in from Ireland. So great to have you on the pod, Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks.
Probably one of the easiest names that you've had to pronounce in a while, Alex.
We've had some bloody tough names to pronounce, tell you that.
Yeah. So,
No,
Liam,
nice
we're
to
going
have
to
you.
crack on. We're going to get into this. Liam has agreed to basically, we feel people before the podcast starts, and we always ask people what it is that we shouldn't ask them about. But Liam is free to talk about everything. So, we're going to crack on and jump straight into the war in Gaza. Now, I'm not joking. We're going to talk about how I came across Liam. I saw Liam in a LinkedIn post where he was flexing in his office, which was the school toilet of which Liam attends. So we've got to get into this. Liam, you've built a business from a school toilet. How old are you?
I'm 17. Just turned 17.
17. So we've got to crack out from the beginning.
Okay.
You're still very young. You're showing us all up. How did this start? What is it that you do? And we'll get into it.
Yeah, so I mean, this probably started like 5 or 6 years ago when I was much younger. I ever since I was really young, I just had a really innate interest in business. Like I remember when I was like 8, I was just kind of I was like trading Pokemon cards along my road, like my little neighborhood with some other kids. And what I would do is I'd kind of trade them for a card they didn't know was worth that much. Then use my mum's eBay account to sell it. That's kind of where I just started to realize, oh my god, this is really cool. I can kind of outsmart the system, make some money out of it, and kind of I just found it super rewarding. So ever since then, ever since I was 8, just starting little things here and there, like few little small businesses in primary school. I had like this duct tape wallet business where I like made wallets out of duct tape. I probably sold like 500 euros worth of those. Like basically forced people to buy it off me. And then after that, I kind of went to secondary school, stopped kind of being interested in business for a while, played a bit of basketball, and then probably about three maybe 2 years ago, I kind of just went, okay, I want to start building something again, or start kind of setting up my own little business. So I started doing kind of some science projects, some like science fair projects, kind of around AI. I built like an AI voice assistant that could remember past conversations, kind of like Alexa, but like a lot better. And then I built that last year. Got a chance to go to the States, and over there I met a lot of people who were building startups or kind of building businesses that were kind of similar to my age. And I was kind of like, damn, I have to like start something again. And then after that, I started getting super into e-commerce. I'd already built like a tried drop shipping like three or 4 years ago, failed miserably. But then I started to realize that there's these things called Shopify apps. I started kind of get really interested in those, built like kind of a little mini e-commerce network in Ireland here, kind of went to all the e-commerce events that I could find, built a Shopify app, didn't do very well. So kind of an AI Shopify app. I didn't really know how to market it, didn't really know that anybody wanted it, but kind of what I learned from that was that merchants were having two like big issues, and one was acquiring customers, and two was actually getting those customers to convert. So I went during the summer. I went into this youth accelerator program, kind of similar to Y Combinator. It's like 36, 16, and 22-year-olds. I met two of my co-founders there, Matisse and Keith, and they're a lot older than me. They're 20 and they're in college. But I was like, hey lads, let's do something in e-commerce. Please trust me. Started kind of thinking of problems that we had when we were shopping online. And then Keith mentioned like a lot of the times when he saw his girlfriend shopping off her favorite beauty brands, she couldn't reach the free shipping threshold. It's usually 50, and most of the items in there are like 15, 20 euros. And he noticed that her and her friends would all have a massive group chat where they were sharing with each other the account details to log into each other's accounts, just so they could buy together to reach that threshold. And I was like, okay, there has to be there's so much friction here. There has to be an easier way to do this. So I built a Shopify app with Keith Matisse called CartShare. Allows shoppers to share their cart. Kind of looks like Klarna a little bit. Share their cart, one link. You can buy together, reach free shipping, and you can also avail of discounts because you're boosting the average order value for that brand. And yeah, that's what I'm working on now.
I have a question. Obviously, most people that listen to this podcast by now know that I have a background in e-commerce, especially in China. Now, one of the things that led me to be so fascinated about the e-commerce market in China is that in 2015, 80% of all e-commerce transactions happened on the mobile phone. Now, in China, there's actually a mechanism called group buy. It's been around for a very long time. Is this something that's kind of inspired you? Did you know about that? Or was this just like fresh off the bat? You jumped into the research. What happened?
Yeah, so we did know, we definitely knew about the group buying element in China. Actually, it was kind of like when we identified that problem, we knew it was kind of already a problem. And then we kind of just like part of our research was looking at things that already like was group buying a thing in the Western world, and did it actually exist? It did exist. It existed in China, and it was from Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo was a platform. I think they're the owners of Temu. They kind of led the way for group buying. The concept is like they have this massive user base of shoppers, and shoppers can jump in on an order together to kind of on a specific item to basically agree. Let's say 100 random people agree to buy this item at this price. You can get a discount there, kind of just sharing the link around. We kind of thought like, look, what were examples of this in the Western world? And one of them was Groupon. Basically, a bunch of random people who maybe not know each other agree to buy an item at the same time and kind of get a discount that way. But we start to realize why isn't there like, would this work in the context of kind of smaller brands that are selling something specific? And kind of what we came to is like, not really. What like a lot of the time when, you know, my mates were buying off a brand, we all know the same brand and we all like the same brand, but there wasn't actually like, we were already sharing kind of, at least we all had an interest in this brand and we were even sharing items with each other anyway. So why wasn't there a mechanism to jump in on that order with friends that already know each other instead of just leveraging like, you know, people you may not know? And it also kind of, we identified like, you know, look, it's probably a little bit easier because if I can get my made in on my order, it can get shipped to one address instead of like 20. So you actually save the business. You can not only increase the average order value for the brand, but you also can ship to one address instead of like 10 or 15. So yeah, like that was definitely a big part of kind of our research, was figuring out, yeah, did it exist? It tried to be brought into kind of the Shopify ecosystem a few years ago, and the same premise didn't work at all. And then once we saw that somebody had failed at it doing it that way, we're like, okay, let's try it this way. And then we built it, and now we're kind of, yeah, we're on a few brands and kind of going from there.
Incredible. Absolutely amazing. So you've built this, and how far into the journey are you now? So we know you've built this business. You can probably tell us a little bit about how it started. It came about with the customers, but how far into it are you, and what's the roadmap for the future looking like?
So we're only in it 12 weeks. So we started this like literally kind of middle of August. Yeah, around middle of August is kind of when things like we started to go like, okay, this is something we really want to spend time on. We did the program in the summer called Patch during the 6 weeks, kind of playing around with the idea. We built a prototype, talked to a few brands. We talked to brands like Gym Plus Coffee and Pet Stop. They just kind of gave us a call. And they're like, look, this is a really cool idea. You guys should actually like properly explore this. And once we heard that, we were like, okay, we actually have to put, you know, let's try actually do this. The program ended. We kind of did a demo of our prototype. A lot of people liked it. And then from there, we were like, okay, let's start doing this properly. We started kind of properly building out the product. We probably called like 20 or 30 brands just to kind of get their thoughts on what we were doing. A few of them agreed to integrate. And now we're kind of at the stage where we're starting to build out case studies of CartShare live on stores. And during that time, or over the last 10 weeks, we also kind of talked to other people who built successful Shopify apps before. So people like Hamish McKay, who's building order editing, Alaya, which is another really popular Shopify app. And we just started talking to them. It was like, how did you guys kind of scale this thing? And what was your journey like? And they're like, a big part of it was content. And especially Hamish, she was like, you have to do content. It was like we messaged him maybe the first or second week of CartShare. We're just like, hey, what do you think? And he's like, it's a cool idea, just do content. Started putting some posts out on LinkedIn. We got actually, you know, the CEO of Shopify commented on one of them. Shopify reached out to us. They actually gave my co-founder an internship, so he's going to Canada in a few months for the year. And we kind of started getting a bit of traction that way. And now we're in a position where we've kind of found our ideal customer profile, which tends to be beauty and cosmetics brands. A lot of really great feedback from them, and a lot of them have actually agreed to integrate from January onward. A lot of our content kind of got a lot of agencies talking to us as well. So we're starting to build out those relationships and partnerships really early on, even though we're pretty early. Building those relationships, I think, is really, really key. And it means like if we go into January and we have a few really good case studies with beauty brands and brands we're working with in Ireland and the UK, when we're actually live on the App Store, because right now we're a private app. When we're a public app on the Shopify App Store in January, we'll be in a really good position to kind of distribute CartShare across loads of different categories and as many merchants as we want, instead of being limited to like, private onboarding and kind of the annoyance with that. So yeah, next few months just kind of looks like get some case studies, get on the App Store, distribute it. If CartShare works really well, start getting into revenue, and then just scale it from there and build up relationships. So we're prepared for that. That's basically it.
You've kind of answered one of my questions. I was about to say, is there any preferred categories, verticals that you work in, or are you completely agnostic to the brands that you work with?
Like we have most of the, like, it can work across basically any brand. There's no limit, like technically. Just the brands that we tend to find have the best reaction tend to be the beauty and apparel kind of categories. Beauty already has they already have a really great community built in. Like a lot of these really great beauty brands, like Sculpted by Amy and Fenty Beauty, and all these really successful beauty brands do a really, really good job at making content and building a community anyway. Especially with, like 85% of spending online is from women. That's the main audience there, and it actually came from a problem we saw women having. So that we were like, we have to target this niche for sure. Another one was apparel, because like apparel and supplements actually, because a lot of times me and my mates, when we're like on the rare occasion we do actually buy clothes, we probably wait until we can reach free shipping or have an excuse to reach free shipping. But there's all these missed opportunities where everyone's in the group chat like, hey, do you want to buy something? Hop into my order. And a lot of the time when you're on something like maybe a brand like Gym Plus Coffee, the free shipping threshold might be 120 euros, but you buy a really nice jumper for like 70 or 80. You're probably not going to buy another jumper, and there probably isn't. Maybe you don't want to spend 30 or 40 euros to get there, but if your mate's thinking of buying one, why not? And yeah, supplements as well. So I know my mate is like super into kind of buying creatine and protein supplements every month. The shipping cost is super expensive because it's quite bulky and big to ship. It's I think it's like 7 or 8 euros, and we're like, most of, if you buy a big tub of creatine, it's like 30 euros. Free shipping might be 50. You're not going to buy another one. Just get your mate to buy one with you, and you've just reached free shipping. And it's also an excuse to meet up with your friend. So they're kind of the categories we've been targeting. Like works across. There's all these smaller niches and all these kind of smaller like subcategories that it could work for. It's like formal wear, kind of event based kind of items that way. Along with another one was kind of pets. So if you get a new pet in the house, everyone in the family can buy something for the pet, etc. So there's all these smaller use cases, but those three are kind of the main ones that we're targeting at the moment.
Yeah, I still feel that the ones that really have the best use cases are where you have high number of items added into cart, more than necessarily like just a high average order value. It's about, okay, is there room to scale up the cart? So I mean, that's maybe just my observation, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, like I think we've started to find like another niche recently as well, with kind of a lot of those online stores that sell like candy or the kind of those kind of items. They have very low product price. Free shipping is actually, like, compared to other stores, it's pretty low. It's like 40 euros, but the items there only cost maybe 6 or 7 euros. I think that's also one we're going to explore as well. So like, I think it's very store dependent, and there's all these different kind of niches that I think it could work really well for. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the company right now is bootstrapped. It doesn't have any investment, or do you have private investment? Are you using your savings? Are you looking for capital?
So we've spent like zero. We've spent nothing on CartShare. We have just spent our time, a lot of time, building it. Like if even for like server and development costs, like we've just been like, we just convinced somebody to give us some credits for a little while. Like you can get like 10,000 worth of like AWS credits, in which covers off basically everything that you need. And we really don't see a reason why we would need to raise money. We have got like you'd be surprised, like we put out content on LinkedIn, and even though we're super early, we actually have got investment offers from just various sorts of agencies and people in the industry. But we've kind of declined them just because like we don't see a reason to raise. There's no point raising for no reason. And we think we can get to revenue by spending absolutely nothing on CartShare except our time, blood, sweat, and tears kind of building it out. I do the sales part. Keith mainly does most of the front end, back end. He's a super, super, super talented developer. And yeah, we think we can get to revenue without investment. And maybe when we need to scale, that's when we would look at it. So like if we're on a couple hundred stores and we need to like think about how we're going to scale like a sales team, that's when we will look for investment. But that's a different kind of investment than like 100 grand for X amount of your business at this stage.
Okay, fair play. And just one, I don't want to dig too much. Maybe one question here that's a little bit, you don't have to tell the world, but what's the revenue model for your business look like? Do you take like commissions, or how's that work?
Yeah, so we'll take a 2.5% off every CartShare order. So let's say you and me do a CartShare together, all the three of us do a CartShare. We'll take 2.5% off the entire order value, and there's also be a subscription fee. That percentage changes based on the tier you select. At the moment, we're giving all brands like a free trial until January. We need case studies. It makes sense, and then we just agree pricing to start in January when we're actually on the App Store, when we can properly invoice our brands. But yeah, 2.5% off every CartShare order, and the subscription fee would be something like 20 to 40 euros, just depending on the tiers. But that's kind of what the revenue model for us will look like.
You should, this is just a suggestion. Have you considered reaching out to other apps and running some kind of affiliate program with them? It's a good low-cost way to market, and probably you'll find people with like synergies.
Yeah, so we have had a few apps reach out to us that we're considering kind of going into partnerships with. Exactly how you mentioned, they kind of have an affiliate program. A lot of them do it based on like integration. So like they build out whatever it maybe be like a better dashboard for Shopify stores. They have all these integrations they plug you into. And CartShare, for example, we will be one of those integrations shown there, or maybe even advertised in their platform, and kind of the same for us, vice versa. So we have had a few reach out to us. I think that definitely, like I've only in the last week I've kind of been opened up to that idea, because a few apps did reach out and we're like, okay, this could be really good. Especially ones that are growing super fast. They're the ones you want to hop on. So yeah, I think that will definitely probably need to be incorporated into our strategy sometime in January when we're on the App Store, for sure.
Fair play. Can't argue with it. I think I've grilled you for like 15 minutes non-stop now, so we're going to have to talk some politics or something.
Yeah.
I just want to ask Liam, just to jump in there. Obviously, the Stripe guys are from Ireland, right? Do you think you could partner with them in any way? Like, could you reach out to them and say, like, I'm an Irish founder, like, I'm an e-commerce space, like.
Well, I've met John. So I met John Collison recently. So he's he actually part of the program in Patch, which was over the summer. Myself and my co-founders got a chance to meet him for like 5 to 10 minutes, just have a chat about CartShare. So that was pretty crazy. It was a really, really, really cool opportunity to kind of chat with him. He really liked the idea. So I'm already kind of thinking how Stripe would be, because like Stripe runs all the Shopify checkouts in the background. It's all Stripe. So I think there could be interesting synergies there. We're a bit early, but at least I've kind of become friends with them. So yeah.
Could be an acquirer for CartShare in the future. You never know.
You never know.
Hey, you never know. Yeah, if don't forget the HYPEWORKS podcast when
I'll make sure that'll be the first thing I say when we get acquired. It was all because of the HYPEWORKS podcast. So.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. There's so many questions. Do you I've got a question. You're a small business. Mm-hmm. You're based in Ireland. You could go anywhere. You could move to Dubai. There's no tax or low taxes in Dubai. Is there any plans or like business operation plans about where you'll be based in the future? Look, I'll tell you, I'm super interested in this because naturally I'm based in Bangkok, but my domicile, my entity is in Hong Kong. Now, one of the reasons why I have it in Hong Kong may or may not be to do with like the ludicrous amounts of tax that you pay in places like Europe. So I'm always very interested because living here in Asia, particularly in Bangkok, which is a little bit of a Switzerland in the world, and there's a few things going on right now. I see more and more European founders that are moving to a place like Bangkok, having an offshore business, something that's not actually in the European Union, because it creates a great launch pad for you to be able to scale, because you don't lose 40% of your business once you start generating revenue. So I'm just curious, is there a roadmap about European Business Society, or is there any places that you want to go?
Well, definitely not stay in Europe, that's for sure. I mean, in Ireland, the actual the corporate tax is actually pretty good. I think it used to be used to be 12.5%, and that's why we got so many that's like Apple didn't come to Ireland because it's like, oh yeah, well this will be fun. It's because an awful lot of their revenue just gets funneled in Europe. It's funneled straight through Ireland, and they have really beneficial tax here for big corporations like that. So that like Ireland is pretty good in that sense, but obviously that's at a certain threshold. In terms of like where you want to go operationally, definitely the US. I think a lot of Irish startups and a lot of founders stay in Ireland. They test in the Irish and UK market, and then they go, okay, let's stay here. We're going to get on a few brands. We're going to get on a few, maybe they get on 100 brands in Ireland. Not even, that's probably too many, but like 50 brands in Ireland. And then they go, okay, let's launch in the UK, and then let's think about going to the States. I've seen a lot of startups like just kind of get stuck here and not escape. When the market is so small, obviously the UK market for Shopify is huge. Like it's like way bigger than Ireland, but the real market is in the States, right? In the States, it seems to be a lot more transactional. It seems to be a little bit easier to sell. In Ireland and the UK, just kind of from people I've been talking to who build Shopify apps, it's a lot more kind of like you build relationships over time, you sell that way. In the States, if you have a great product, you go there, you launch, you already have a really good basis and a lot of data to work off of from Ireland and the UK. Move over to the States, start selling there, you can kill it really quickly, especially if you have a lot of agency partnerships over there. So like we've had a lot of agencies reach out to us from the US, and a lot of really interesting players over there reach out to us who are like pretty in the ecosystem for years and Shopify started. So it's going to be like US all the way, right? Like I think we might go to Canada first. The only reason being is that the shipping threshold in Canada, it seems to be a massive pain for people, for shoppers in Canada, because the average shipping cost is like 13 or 14 Canadian dollars, which is ridiculous. So that could be a really good place to start, especially as my co-founder's gone to Toronto in January for an internship. It might be an excuse for me to go over there as well. Once we've launched in Ireland, maybe launch a few UK brands, build relationships that way. But yeah, maybe go to Canada. And a lot of the Canadian agencies already work super closely with the US agencies anyway. So I think that could be a really interesting place to start in the US. But yeah, in terms of tax, not sure. I might have a think about it. That's an interesting you said about Bangkok, so I might have a look into that actually.
Yeah, don't write off Bali.
Okay. A lot of people go there, right? A lot of digital nomads or whatever.
Trust me, I know some people that run Shopify apps that live in the same building as me. I know some guys that run e-commerce stores. They live in Bali. It's not a bad life, so don't write off. Alex has a few opinions about US. I've seen him piping up on Twitter recently, saying it's the place to be.
Yeah, no, I've been in China actually recently, and there's a lot of e-commerce guys over here right now because of the Canton Fair. So they're this big fair where people come and buy stuff, and a lot of conversations. And like you say, Liam, like just the center of gravity in terms of sales, like companies, customers, like it's the US is like the center of gravity in terms of sales. So yeah, if you bulk of your customers are in the US and your partners in the US, then it makes sense to be there. But as Jake said, you can build from anywhere. That is the thing. Like I've been on the road now this last couple of weeks, and as long as you've got an internet connection, you can build. So yeah, just do you have like any thoughts on that? Like working in an office versus working in a WeWork. Like we talked before that we started the show about that. Like what's your thoughts on like work culture and startup culture in general?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I probably want to be in the place where I'm selling, just because like if I'm pretty interested in programming too, but I'll be honest, like my co-founder is way better than me. He's actually like just extremely talented in that front. So for me, in terms of selling, I feel like I'd have to be there because like the events there and the kind of being able to sell, I think it's a big part of in terms of just being in the same time zone as well. So and also like in the States, there's another advantage of like you can sell to somebody in New York, you can sell to brands in New York in the morning, sell to brands in San Francisco in the evening. That seems really appealing as well. But yeah, in terms of like work culture, I mean, right now, I'm just working like, I mean, I'm still in school, so I'm just like working in between classes, during classes. My phone and my laptop have been taken off me like 3 or 4 times
Let's
already.
talk about the viral toilet image. Like let's just get to that one
Sure.
because how did that come about? Was that planned or did you just like do that by accident? Was it just tell the story so everyone knows what we're talking about?
Sure, yeah. So, like 3, 4 weeks ago, I mean, I was posting content on LinkedIn. It was doing pretty well. It was kind of funny, kind of joking around. And then I thought of this. There was a guy on LinkedIn, or maybe it was Twitter. I saw a few years ago where he, I think his name was Eric Zhu, where he posted an image of himself working from a school bathroom and taking calls there. It was obviously very staged. But I was like, this is kind of true. Like I have taken audio calls in my school bathroom after school, right? Because I can't make it to the office in the middle of the city. So I'll just take them from my school bathroom because nobody's around, so it'll probably be okay. So I was already doing that. And I was like, okay, I could probably make a really funny LinkedIn post here. So this is a good opportunity. So I went to my mate. I was like, okay, I'll pay you €5 to take a photo of me in the bathroom on my on my laptop taking a call. And he was like, this is really weird, but okay, €5, whatever. Took a photo of me, sent it to me, and kind of wrote up a story about a time that I did call somebody in the school bathroom on an audio call, and him asking me why the echo was so loud, and I just kind of said like, look, I'm in the stall my school bathrooms because I thought it'd be funny, and yeah, luckily that call went okay. But yeah, and then I posted on LinkedIn. It went I think it got maybe like 300,000 impressions, like 300 or 400 comments, and just a lot of people just being super supportive and being like, "This is amazing, Liam," etc. So that landed us maybe like 20 calls, like 20 agency calls, a lot of brands.
It's amazing, right? Yeah,
yeah. It was like incredible. I thought it was going to be like, we'll put it out. It might. Well, we'll just see what happens. I didn't think it would do that good at all.
You see, that's against the rules of LinkedIn, all right? It's supposed to be corporate and professional, and then you're here in the toilet taking a call. It's just like the shock value alone. Like everyone in their cubicle around the world, like, wow, like look at this guy, he's in the toilet,
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is that on LinkedIn everything is so boring. Everything is just so utterly boring. And I was using LinkedIn since like I turned 16 or whatever, right? Just kind of try to network people, reach out to people, that kind of thing. And I was just like, the opportunity, like every now and then I'd see a post that kind of caught my attention, but like the opportunity of like, I'm so proud to announce yada yada yada, this partnership. Nobody really cares. You have to make something funny.
Yeah.
I think LinkedIn is super underrated for young people in terms of being able to throw something out there. And if it has a bit of shock value to it, and you can make some interesting and fun content, it can stand out really well, and it can also drive a lot of leads.
So my next question is this going to be a series? Is there going to be a toilet series, like follow up toilet posts, or
yes,
you gotta take advantage of this now?
Yes, like I did one. I think I did one 2 days ago where it was like me on the bus. So I think it'll be me. I mean, like it is true. So like whenever I'm working basically constantly, whether it be doing emails or talking to Keith about how we're going to build a product or whatever. I'm working like literally everywhere, from like me on public transport to me on the tram system, whatever it is. So I think there's some funny posts that I can make of just me working in weird places. But I think it's very important to keep it genuine. Like like some of half it's like humorous, some of it's like actually serious, and I think people really respect you if you're actually on the grind and genuinely being focused on what you're doing. So yeah,
Man,
it will
go
be a
go and
series.
get
It will be a
go
series.
and get the
Keep it short.
.com. Work in the weirdplaces.com. Go and register that now before this pod comes out.
I might. Good point.
Okay, Alex, we're down to the final question, but before we hang up this call, you always say that we'll catch up in 6 months or whatever to the guests, and if we could take the next call in the toilet, Liam, that would be interesting.
I think
How
I think
about
we can
it?
do that. I think we can do
Okay.
it. We'll do it.
So the final question, brace yourself. It's a bit of a shocker, and we like it to catch people off guard. So it's future predictions time. Now, we just want you to make future predictions. It could be about your business, your life, or the world. Boom. The first thing that comes to the top of your head, predictions for the future.
I probably one of my big predictions is that people are going to lose a lot more jobs than people think because of AI. People say it's like, I saw a statistic recently, it was 6% in Ireland. Now it'd be like 15% for sure. All the mundane, repetitive tasks. Like I worked in an AI startup last year. Basically spent the whole year there instead of doing school, just doing sales for them. And there's so many mundane things that are going to be automated by AI that nobody realizes. And I don't think there'll be immediate jobs to replace those. People are being too optimistic about it. It's going to take a lot of jobs, and it will obviously have some massive impacts. But I think it will allow people to be a lot more creative. I think, I think, I think like kind of products that are enhancing creativity, like literal physical products, like kind of consumer goods that are enhance creativity, will be super important in the future. As I think most things will, like most things that are kind of repetitive and mundane, will be automated by AI. So it will force people to become more creative, and AI will kind of help that. But I think that there'll be a big industry in terms of either helping people become more creative physically, or definitely kind of enhancing their creativeness. I think that's going to be a massive industry that I'll definitely be investing in the future. So
Fully
yeah,
agree
it's a
with
weird
you.
prediction, but I don't know. That's what I think. That's what I think anyway.
I fully agree. I mean, don't get me started because, Alex knows, but I like to automate things on with like low code platforms.
Mm.
And my secondary kind of business that I've built is fully automated. The whole thing, emails, personalized emails, everything is fully automated. Now, I've done that because I believe that as the AI improves, so will this business. It will just improve itself.
Yeah.
The AI will improve, the business will improve. And I believe wholeheartedly that what used to take 10 people now probably takes 2, because there's more time that's spent reviewing in like human oversight rather than doing the actual work. So I totally agree. I think people are very optimistic, and people think that because they've got ChatGPT, then that's problem solved, that's AI. But actually, you can completely automate people straight out of the process and create a trigger that turns on an AI agent that performs a function and produces an output that usually would have a human involved with it. So
Yeah,
I
for
fully agree.
sure. I mean, like, I know products that an AI that helps tax consultants write 90% faster. Like that's killed, like genuinely may kill like eight out of 10 jobs in that industry. Like, so I think it's gonna be huge. And AI in e-commerce will be interesting. I think personalization is for using AI is way too overhyped in e-commerce, and there'll be actual products that will come out in a few years that will be a mix of, yeah. I think it's gonna be a lot of AI hype in e-commerce that needs to be toned down a little bit. So yeah, that's just another point, I guess. Anyway.
Fair enough. Right. Alex, any final ones?
Nah, man, I'm still hung up on the LinkedIn stuff, the viral stuff. Keep doing that, man. That's good.
Okay, Liam, it's been an absolute pleasure. So we shall see you. I'll keep in touch, and we'll follow up in a few months and see where you're at. Remember us when it blows up, and we'll see you there, bro.
Yeah, we'll see you there. See you in a few months. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, guys. Cheers. Bye-bye. See ya.